consciousness and into academic thought and discussion, while also providing an opportunity to perhaps humanize artificial intelligence, to explore more meaningful applications that involve an intuitive social interaction. A lot of AI that you do encounter today is a voice-only interface. And if we could make it into a more intense character that people could have a relationship with, then that would be interesting. While at the same time looking at artificial intelligence as a kind of a whole organism, a whole being. So Sophia mentioned that she was waiting for her walking legs, and I hate to say this, but we actually have full walking legs with Sophia now. Sorry, Sophia, that we didn't bring your legs. We've got 3 pair of walking legs using the DARPA Robotics Challenge Hubo legs. We've got new hands and arms that are more sophisticated than these. We've made many generations of Sophia robots. So as a platform for pursuing more human-like intelligence in machines, this is maybe the most exciting for me purpose. But then asking the questions: how will AI and robotics, intelligent robots in particular, impact society? This is a kind of a line of questioning that science fiction has been particularly good at, where it can elicit the kind of deep thinking, forward thinking that may inspire people to ask hard questions, not just how can it be good, but what could go wrong. And by making a physically embodied science fiction medium, then that's one of the things we're looking at with Sophia and some of her smaller social robot consumer product sisters and brothers. And then how do we manage data in a way that's safe? How do we make AI that's moving us more towards truth rather than deep fakes and weapons of mass persuasion? How can we create AI that helps to enlighten people? These are hard questions, and I think that Sophia may provoke these kinds of questions. That's my hope.
Great, thank you. Now, Mr. Kawada, I felt fine calling everybody else by the first name, but for some reason I feel like I have to call you Mr. Kawada. I don't know what it is. I take that as a compliment. So your business, the Kawada Group, has expanded to creating humanoid robotics as well, but you do a number of other things like general building and system construction, software development, civil engineering. What led you to expanding your business to creating humanoid robots? What's the importance of that for you?
Well, thank you for the question. My name is Tadahiro, by the way. You can just call me Tadahiro. Yes, my company, my main business is civil engineering. We provide the big steel structures for bridges and high-rises and dome stadiums and such. And when and my father started aircraft division in our company, tried to have a different business away from construction. And the aircraft development, my background is aircraft, by the way. But unfortunately, with the about 30 years ago, when Japanese economy crashed and kind of stayed a long term of bad economy, my father put a stop to the aircraft development. So I have to think something else to keep my engineers employed, and that is when I took on many different types of engineering projects, aerospace, defense, games, what have you. And from that came a robot development for University of Tokyo back in 1999. So it was not that I was looking for a new thing, but I was very lucky to stumble into it. But I'm a believer in a human-shaped robot because it can be familiar to people that work or interact with it. I congratulate Dr. Hansen for this, Sophia. I met you maybe 10 years ago, and we talked a bit, but you've come a long way. I'm keep going with the humanoid robot, but I'm more in the industrial robot. My robots work with other colleagues. Well, robot and humans are colleagues in the factories I employ. My next stage robots, I have over 300 next stage human-shaped robots in Japanese factories. So I think this new type of robot is very difficult because it's not quite yet accepted to the whole of the world. I'm very lucky that we're doing this in Japan, that we are facing a shrinking population and shrinking workforce, and we do not have enough people. So it's accepted in the workplaces, and people are very happy to be working with the humanoid robots. So I hope with the artificial intelligence, robot will be more accepted to not just the workforce, but also the society.
No, just because we just heard from two different innovators in robotics and artificial intelligence, I'd like you both to respond to a question I have about concern over people losing their jobs, something in the tech sector and something in the field of future of work, those areas, that's where a lot of concern is. How are you tackling this? Is it something that you discuss a lot within your organizations? And are you actually creating opportunities for humans and robots to collaborate?
Thank you. Yes, we are thinking about it quite a bit, and there are several ways that we're thinking. One is not as robots to replace people, but robots to complement people. And so making robots that can perhaps do things that people might not be able to do particularly well, or that maybe open up tremendous new job opportunities. So at Hansen Robotics and with some of the organizations that we're working with, we have a very diverse workforce that we're growing to build and design these kinds of robots and conversational agents. Robots and AI do add more jobs than they take away. It's, automation actually spurs the economy. It can create growth, but it is the responsibility of the people running the companies and people running the nations and non-governmental organizations of the world to develop AI for good, for enhancing the human condition. The other thing to consider is automation. The reason that it's valuable is it's about efficiency and it's about abundance and about finding hidden value. And therefore, in a sense, there's a lot of hidden value in humans who are under-actualized. And using AI and robots that help people to actualize, to break out of menial jobs, or even perhaps slavery. There are more people indentured or in slavery now, maybe, than ever before. This is one of the big reasons why sustainable investment is so important, is to help people, to find those people and open up opportunities for those people. That will spur the economy to grow so fast. There's so much mind power that's lost. Using AI and robots to enhance the human good is core to the value of developing humanoid robots.
Okay, I'm going to go to Barbara, but then I'd like to go to Alexandra to talk about job opportunities through entrepreneurship. So
I think the job question is a very important one, and we will only manage this big challenge of decarbonization and also of all the disruptive technologies if we do it hand in hand with our employees and our people. But there is one piece again of good news, and I'm actually working as an advisor to Carlos Moedas, who is the European Union Commissioner for Technology. And we have been able to work out a plan for the decarbonization of Europe and where to invest. And in this report, we have demonstrated that green tech has brought growth of jobs of some 20%. And today, roughly 4 million green tech jobs exists in the European Union. So yes, there is obviously a risk with the disruption that has to be managed well and preventively by governments, by companies. But yes, there is also a big opportunity for new green jobs with the green growth that we can generate.
Yeah, I like the emphasis on jobs there, which leads me to Alexandra. Now, you're the co-founder of the Impact Hub here in Geneva, which is the world's largest incubator focused on building entrepreneurial communities for impact at scale. And this obviously creates jobs. How are you getting young entrepreneurs or young aspiring entrepreneurs involved in the program, and how are you turning them on to the SDGs?
Okay. Hello, everyone. So, indeed, we run multiple different programs and initiatives for young entrepreneurs. We're located in over 100 cities across the world. And as an incubator/accelerator community, these are quite straightforward ways of creating spaces for entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs to come, giving them access to resources, tools, expertise, mentorship, role models, and others. For actually having the opportunity to build their own businesses and, as such, be job creators. However, in order to, I think, like having everyone here in the room, I think it's really important to go further than that, go further than what is the role of incubators and accelerators in this, what we are requiring really in this case, because now we are focusing a lot on job creation, but on the other hand, we're all here in the room here because of the Sustainable Development Goals, and we need to look at, how do we really achieve these SDGs through entrepreneurship and innovation in the next few years. And therefore, we need to move away as well from a pure focus on economic growth and job creation, but also seeing how are these young entrepreneurs and youth really key change makers, how they're the resources for some of these solutions with the problems that we're tackling today. So that's the shift I also would like to have in a conversation of saying, how can we tap into the talent and expertise of youth beyond the idea of job creation. And here we have asked this question, so we are supporting, we have launched a large initiative called Accelerate 2030, where we identify some of the top entrepreneurs that are tackling the Sustainable Development Goals in emerging and developing markets. And we asked these entrepreneurs, what are the key skills for the young generation? What is needed for the young generation to be key impact makers for finding solutions and scaling solutions for the SDGs? And here we're looking more at as something broader, something more holistic. It's a mindset shift. The answer was clear. It was resilience. How do we bring the new generation up to have a resilient mindset, into be problem solvers, into be adaptive to change, rapid change? And this goes down to there's our clear answer. It's the educational system. We need to start earlier on with the education system. And of course, we need to work with accelerators, incubators, university programs, partnerships, etc. But it's also a large-scale mindset shift that we need to tackle to get the youth on board on tackling the SDGs.
And where do you think policymaking comes into play on this, in the whole entrepreneurial ecosystem and pushing things forward?
So I think there's on many levels, like access, everyone talks about access to finance, of course. But there's one key element, for example, in access to finance, which is related to this mindset